questo contesto mi piace confermare che a Dio piacendo nel settembre.
The Holy Father speaking today saying he will come to Philadelphia for next September's World Meeting of Families. Philadelphia's mayor says he is overjoyed with enthusiasm about this announcement.
We are deeply honored that Pope Francis, the Holy Father, who is now, in fact, one of the world's most transformative leaders, is coming to the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, the city of families.
Mayor Nutter says next year's meeting will be the largest event in that city's modern history. It also marks Pope Francis's first trip to the United States. Vatican officials have already toured Philadelphia. Pope Francis may also visit New York City and Washington, D.C. at the invitation of the President and Congress. For now, though, the focus is on Philly and the World Meeting of Families. You might recall St. John Paul II was the first pope to visit Philadelphia. That was in 1979. Archbishop Charles Chaput will host the Holy Father in his archdiocese. He expresses his joy in a conversation with our Alan Holdren in Rome.
So Archbishop, Pope Francis confirmed this morning that he will be going to Philadelphia in 2015 for the World Meeting of Families. What does this mean to have him on board?
Well, we've known for a long time that he personally planned on coming, but for it to become a public announcement is really quite extraordinary, because what that's going to do is probably double the energy that we already have for preparing for the gathering. I think for most people, the Pope's visit is an essential part of it. I mean, that's maybe 90% of the enthusiasm to bring Pope Francis to the United States. So the fact that he publicly announced this would be really good for us, both in terms of generating enthusiasm about people coming, but also to get everyone in the city and the county and the state on board in preparation for this big event. So we're grateful. We're very grateful to the Holy Father for announcing it so early.
And it will be important to the nation as well.
To the world. It's it's a world meeting of the family. So we don't expect only people from the county and the city and the state, but we expect people from all continents, 5 continents. We have speakers from all 5 continents speaking at this gathering. We expect maybe more than 1 million people for the events that the Pope will celebrate. So it's going to be quite an experience for all of us.
And what message would you think that Americans need right now from Pope Francis?
Well, he always brings joy and optimism wherever he goes. So I think that everyone today in today's world, with there's so much conflict and there's so much discouragement, to be encouraged by someone of his stature to talk about the importance of world peace and cooperation. But also, family life, as we have traditionally understood it, is confused in people's minds today. And so to have the Holy Father come and talk about what we understand to be the family from a Catholic perspective would be a wonderful thing. Our perspective on family life is shared by most people in the world. All of us understand that family is at the center of who we are. It's what formed us, and it's what we long for in the deepest kind of way. And for the Pope to articulate that in ways that bring everybody else on board with enthusiasm is a wonderful thing.
And he won't just be speaking to Catholics. Pope Francis seems to have a borderless quality. How do you think the response will be from non-Catholics in the United States?
Well, already there's great enthusiasm. I can't believe the amount of cooperation we're getting from state and city officials, and not all of them are Catholic. And in fact, some of our most generous financial contributors towards the event are members of the Jewish community. So it's just really extraordinary already what his personal presence means in terms of this celebration.
Archbishop Chaput from Philadelphia, he's really not that short. It's just that Alan is just really tall. Pope Francis affirms traditional marriage, saying children have the right to grow up with a mother and a father. He made the remarks at an interreligious conference on the complementarity of men and women in marriage at the Vatican this week. The meeting brings together experts from diverse religious traditions who see a need to support marriage.
We thought it would be good if we came together across the faiths, across the world, to say this is a marriage, this is an institution that needs our support and deserves it for the sake of future generations.
The conference was organized by the Vatican's Doctrine Office. Pope Francis received a standing ovation when he addressed that group today. Cardinal Francis George has celebrated his final public mass as the leader of Chicago's 2 million Catholics.